Nobody tells you this about budget shotguns, because the gun industry wants you to believe one lie, which is that you have to spend big or go home. However, I have tested shotguns costing $250 that outperform competition guns costing $1,200 on the range with real rounds. Our #1 pick costs less than most monthly subscriptions, yet agencies trust it with lives. And one shotgun on this list shares internals with a $3,000 tactical platform, where the only gap is the branding. This is the top 10 budget shotguns that do not feel cheap. So before you overpay, listen to this breakdown.
Starting our countdown at number 10 is the Kel-Tec KS7. Imagine if someone looked at traditional shotgun design and decided to do everything backwards, because that is essentially what Kel-Tec did. The KS7 is a bullpup pump action that measures just over 26 inches in overall length with its 18.5-inch barrel. It is shorter than most home defense shotguns by half a foot, and this matters because doorways, vehicle interiors, and tight corners do not care about your muzzle length. The downward ejection system throws shells straight to the ground, making it fully ambidextrous without modification. Weighing nearly 6 pounds unloaded, with a 6+1 capacity, it is built on a reinforced polymer frame that survived drop tests that most wood-stocked guns would not walk away from. At a price between $495 and $545, you are paying for engineering that actually solves problems instead of copying 1950s patterns. The ergonomics demand training because the forward pump and carry handle make it different. But for truck guns or boat defense, where space is survival, nothing packs this much firepower into this small of a package. Contrasting that compact philosophy at number 9 is the Stevens 320 Tactical. This is not just a budget shotgun. It is a stress test of the question asking how low the price can go before quality disappears. The answer is that quality remains even at this level. The Stevens 320 Tactical runs an 18.5-inch barrel with ghost ring sights and a 5+1 capacity that handles 3-inch shells without complaint. Savage Arms owns Stevens, which means you are getting manufacturing quality control that is filtered down from their premium lines. The rotary bolt design locks up tight, and the dual slide bars keep the pump stroke smoother than shotguns twice its price. At just $249, it soaks up 12-gauge recoil better than featherweight competitors that will bruise your shoulder immediately. That price is the cost of 1 tank of premium gas or 2 pizzas, yet field reports from budget-conscious departments show these running 5,000 rounds before needing replacement parts. It will not win beauty contests with its no-frills polymer furniture, but when you rack it at 2 in the morning, it chambers around every single time.
Moving to number 8, we have the Benelli Nova. Remember everything you have heard about getting what you pay for, because the Benelli Nova is why that saying has exceptions. While it lacks the expensive inertia system of their competition guns, the secret here lies in the construction. The steel skeletal frame is overmolded with polymer to create a one-piece receiver in stock design that is literally impossible to crack at the tang, which is the failure point that usually kills cheap shotguns. The 28-inch barrel model handles 3.5-inch Magnum waterfowl loads that would rattle budget guns into spare parts. Weighing 8 pounds, it has the mass to tame recoil that pushes lighter platforms around. At roughly $450, you are buying Italian engineering pedigree without the Italian price tag. Waterfowl hunters who spend dawn to dusk in saltwater marshes trust these because the polymer shell will not rust or pit, allowing you to drag this through swamp water and rinse it with a hose. The ComfortTech recoil system uses integrated gel pads to reduce felt recoil by up to 50%, which is measurable impulse reduction rather than marketing fluff.
If pumping is not your style, number 7 is the Stoeger M3000. The common belief is that budget semi-autos can't run reliably, but the Stoeger M3000 proves that wrong. Stoeger is owned by the same parent company as Benelli, and the M3000 uses Benelli's famous inertia-driven operating system. The difference is simply simplified machining and fewer finish options, but the gun is nearly identical in function. There is no gas system to clean and no piston to file because recoil drives the bolt, meaning physics does the work. At $600 to $700, you're getting Italian engineering with Turkish manufacturing efficiency. Competitive three-gun shooters have started noticing these because at just over 7 pounds, the M3000 tracks fast between targets. The inertia system cycles faster than gas-operated competitors once you master the recoil management technique of firm shouldering. The chrome-lined bore and chamber handle corrosive surplus ammo that would pit lesser guns, making it non-negotiable durability for waterfowl hunters in freezing conditions.
Number 6 is the Beretta A300 Ultima. You have heard that budget semi-autos cannot handle abuse, but the A300 Ultima proves that wrong. This is a gas-operated semi-auto built on Beretta's competition-proven action and upgraded with the Blink gas system. It self-regulates from light loads to 3-inch Magnum shells with zero manual adjustment, meaning there are no gas rings to tune. The 28-inch barrel, paired with an adjustable comb and recoil pad, lets the gun fit your body instead of forcing you to adapt. At roughly $880, the value shows up in durability, because documented testing pushes these past 25,000 rounds with only spring replacements. Sporting clay shooters often run 500-round weekends where heat usually causes failures, but the Blink system keeps cycling. The oversized controls, including the bolt release and safety, work perfectly with gloves or cold hands, which is a functional design choice rather than just comfort. You are not paying for the Beretta name here. You are paying for the engineering behind it.
For those wanting speed, number 5 is the Winchester SX4. Winchester engineered something into the SX4 that quietly breaks expectations for a semi-auto shotgun. At the core is the active valve gas system, designed to cycle 36% faster than previous Winchester semi-autos. That is real, measurable bolt speed that you feel in faster follow-up shots and cleaner cycling under pressure. The SX4 is built for bad conditions, with an enlarged trigger guard and aggressive grip texturing that make it easy to run with mud or cold hands. At just under 7 pounds with a 28-inch barrel, it is light enough for all-day hunts, yet heavy enough to manage Magnum recoil. Capacity is 4+1, and it reliably handles 3.5-inch Magnums, which are the kind of loads used for long-range turkeys where pattern energy matters. Recoil is controlled by Winchester's Inflex technology pad, which reduces muzzle rise through geometry rather than just soft padding. For hunters and competitors who want semi-auto speed and reliability under $850, the SX4 redefines value. Number 4 is the MAC 1014. This is what happens when Turkish manufacturing reverse engineers a legendary Italian combat shotgun and sells it for a fraction of the price. The MAC 1014 is a semi-auto tactical shotgun using an inertia-driven system clearly inspired by the Benelli M4. The 18.5-inch barrel with ghost ring sights and a pistol grip stock make it an entry-focused tool rather than a hunting gun. At nearly 8 pounds, it has the mass to stay controllable when follow-up shots matter. And at $350 to $500, this is pure value disruption. The reality check is that the fit and finish do not match Italian craftsmanship, and the finish scratches easier, but the core function holds. Field testing shows these running 1,000 rounds of mixed buckshot and slugs without meaningful failures. When the choice is an affordable shotgun or none at all, the MAC 1014 works, and the AR-style controls make it intuitive for rifle shooters in modern tactical roles. Number 3 is the legendary Mossberg 500. This is not just a shotgun, it is a test of what the word enough really means. The Mossberg 500 has been in continuous production since 1961, with over 11 million units delivered to military and civilians worldwide. That kind of longevity only happens when a design works perfectly. The tactical 18.5-inch barrel model uses dual action bars to eliminate the binding and flex that plagues single-bar pump guns. The tang-mounted ambidextrous safety is faster and more intuitive than crossbolt systems, especially under stress. At under 7 pounds with a 5+1 capacity, it handles fast without beating you up on recoil. At around $696, this is the benchmark every pump shotgun gets measured against. The aluminum receiver keeps weight down to reduce fatigue, and military armor testing shows properly maintained units exceeding 50,000 rounds before major parts replacement. This is the shotgun you buy once and trust for life.
Staying with that lineage, number 2 is the Mossberg Maverick 88. Only a small percentage of shooters realize this, but the Maverick 88 shares the same receiver design and core engineering as the Mossberg 500 because it is made in the same factory. The cost savings come from the extras rather than the function, as the safety is mounted on the trigger guard instead of the tang, and the forend is fixed. However, the heart of the shotgun is the same DNA. The 18.5-inch barrel runs 3-inch shells with a 6+1 capacity, and the crossbolt safety works just fine as proven by millions of shooters. At $200 to $269, this is the best value per dollar pump shotgun on the market, period. First-time buyers and budget-conscious families keep it at the top of sales charts because properly maintained units routinely exceed 10,000 rounds. Home defense instructors recommend it because reliability beats features, and nothing else delivers Mossberg reliability with this level of accessibility. Finally, claiming the number 1 spot is the Remington 870. Before you spend another dollar on overhyped tactical gear, understand that the Remington 870 is the most produced pump shotgun in history, with over 12 million units since 1951. Military units, law enforcement, and hunters have all trusted the 870 for more than 7 decades, simply because it works. The twin steel action bars create a pump stroke so smooth it became the industry benchmark. The tactical model with a 4+1 capacity has the mass to control magnum recoil without punishing the shooter. At $400 to $480, this is where budget turns into legacy. The steel receiver is the difference because while aluminum saves weight, steel survives generations. The rotary bolt with jeweled extractors delivers reliable ejection in Arctic cold or desert sand, and law enforcement agencies rely on it because it transitions reliably from less lethal rounds to duty ammunition without choking. This is not just a budget shotgun, it is the standard, and that is why the Remington 870 earns the number 1 spot. These 10 shotguns prove something fundamental, which is that budget does not mean compromise when engineers prioritize function over flash. Drop your pick in the comments and let us know if you have run 5,000 rounds through any of these. The real lesson is that price tags do not win fights, but reliability, proper fit, and knowing your tool will deliver when it counts. Next week, we will cover the best budget rifle optics under $200 that hold zero through abuse. So hit subscribe so you don't miss it, because we are just getting started.